from Glue and Glitter, and today we are going to make these super delicious, super easy vegan apple fritters, and we're going to make them in the air fryer. I love this recipe. My kid loves this recipe. He loves it because it's crunchy, sweet, and delicious. I love it because it takes just a few minutes to make and just a few ingredients that we usually actually have on hand. Before we get to the recipe, I want to introduce you to my air fryer. This is the Zen Chef Pro Double XL, and Zen Chef is sponsoring this recipe. Thank you, Zen Chef. If you follow my blog or my YouTube channel, chances are you've heard me talk about this air fryer before. I love it. Even if they weren't a sponsor, this would be my favorite air fryer that I've ever owned. It's nice and big at 5.8 quarts. There's plenty of room to cook for my family of 3, plus a little bit of leftovers for one of our lunches the next day. It's also easy to clean, it's easy to use. I just love it so much. I think you will too. Alright, so enough about my air fryer. Let's make some fritters. Like I said, there's only a few ingredients, and the first thing that you're going to need to make your apple fritters is an apple. I would choose any sweet, crunchy apple that you like. Don't go with something mealy like a Red Delicious though. Go with an apple that you would want to snack on. And we're just going to slice it. And it's not even going to take the whole apple. The next thing we're going to do is make some cinnamon sugar. Let me grab a bowl. So, to make cinnamon sugar, the first thing that you need is sugar. You'll just scoop out 1 tablespoon of sugar and then 1 level teaspoon of cinnamon. And then you don't actually have to use a whisk for this, but a metal fork on a ceramic bowl is really loud, so I'm using this whisk just for quietness. Feel free to use a fork to mix up your cinnamon sugar. The next thing that we need is the secret ingredient for this recipe, and that is a tube of tinned crescent rolls. I'm sure you've seen these in the refrigerator section at the grocery store. They're really easy to find. A lot of even the conventional brands are accidentally vegan, so just check the ingredients, look for, usually it's dairy, like milk, but sometimes they'll contain egg. Just keep checking the ingredients. There are always a ton of options. And what you're actually ideally looking for is a 4-pack. See how small this one is in my hand. If you can't find a 4-pack, that's okay. You can just open an 8-pack, cut it in half, and save that other half for another time. All right, so it pops open. We're just gonna slice this up into 4 equal-sized pieces. And then start with your first piece. And you want to kind of flatten it out like this. I kind of form it into a little cup like this, and then just grab a little bit of apple. I like to be ambitious. Some of this apple is going to probably fall out, and that's okay. And just kind of start working the apple into the dough. So I like to kind of get it all in the middle like that, and then just flatten it out, and the dough will kind of fill in as you flatten it. Once you have got your fritter formed, drop it into the cinnamon sugar and roll it around to coat it really well. There's actually going to be extra, so don't be shy about getting a nice, generous coating on there. And then it's time to line the air fryer basket so it'll be ready to put these fritters in. Let's pull the basket out. Slide this stuff out of the way. Really, I should have lined the basket first, but I forgot. So here's the basket, and what you're going to do is take a piece of parchment paper, and you're going to cut it so that it covers most of the inside of the basket, but doesn't go up the sides. It's okay if like little corners go up the sides, but you don't want to cover the sides of the basket. And you want to leave a little bit of room around the edges so that air can circulate. So I'm just eyeballing it. I might need to do some trimming down. Oops, this one looks smaller. So that's pretty good. I'll just trim it to here. Once your basket is lined, put that first fritter in there, and then we're going to repeat this process with the rest of the dough and most of the rest of the apples. You probably aren't going to use all of that apple. Okay, great. So as you can see, Got your 4 apple fritters in the basket, and they're spaced out a little bit, so if they do decide to expand in the air fryer, there's room for them to do that. And now we're just gonna put it in the air fryer, cook it for 6 minutes at 370. And we're back. So it's been 6 minutes and it's time to flip. When I flip stuff in my air fryer, I like to use these rubber tongs because I can't tell you how many times I've burned myself flipping things in the air fryer before I started using these. You don't have to use rubber tongs, but you definitely do not want to use something metal to flip things in the air fryer. Even when you have this bit of parchment paper here on the bottom, you still risk scratching your basket, and if you scratch it, then the non-stick isn't going to work as well. So definitely use something that's rubber or wood, don't use metal. So we're just going to give these a little flip so they cook evenly. And we're back again. So these are all done cooking and they're ready to serve. Just like when you were flipping, I recommend that you use your tongs because I would hate for you to burn yourself just before you were about to eat delicious apple fritters. So let me grab my plate and you're just gonna pull them right out. I like to flip them flat side down. I feel like they just look better that way. Now, you can serve these just as is, but usually when you get an apple fritter, it includes some kind of an icing, maybe some kind of a powdered sugar on top. So for this recipe, because I wanted to limit the ingredients, instead of making an icing from scratch, we're just going to use maple syrup on top. And then, if you want to get really decadent, sprinkle some of that leftover cinnamon sugar on top too. I hope that I answered all of your questions in the video. If you have any questions or comments that I didn't address, feel free to drop a comment below. I'm always happy to help. Happy cooking!